Hello everyone. Today we are going
Hi,
to Today we are going to start with pandas. Pandas is a very important library in Python that is used to manipulate data set and access data sets data in CSV, Excel or some other formats or some database formats like SQL or something like that. So for,
see,
in
panda is very important as it is in wildlife. As panda is a very looked up species by everyone, same is the library. Everyone knows panda,
yes, and if you're into machine learning, you'll definitely need pandas.
and you will
Those
love panda.
those cute pandas.
You
Okay.
will get to know how because we are like panda is giving you the full-fledged functions of VBA. Whatever you think that those CA people or the accounting finance people do on Excel, you can do it in seconds with the help of pandas, and you can give them better results. That too in lesser time. So if some of you are from management, you should learn panda.
So I'll show you a basic definition of pandas. Pandas is an open source library that is mainly made for working with relational or label data, both easily and intuitively. So that is what we said. You can work with relational. That any data that is in tabular form is called relational, and label data is where you have the answers to, like, as in supervised learning, we have the answers. So and it is easy to work with that data using pandas. So coming back to our topic. So this is how you import pandas. Import pandas as PD. PD is the alias name for pandas. You use standardly throughout the world. Then we'll get started. So to create a data frame, what is a data frame? Data frame is something like it is a
See, data frame is
it is a
basically
way
what
like
you consider a tabular thing. Let's say you imagine Excel sheet. Okay, there are rows, there are columns, and there are column names. Just think of it as that. It's a data frame.
correct. So
A
a data
frame
frame is
data.
that is the data in tabular form having rows and columns.
Yeah, a basic definition. Just understand this. And we can create data frames with different. Okay, what is he
See,
doing?
this is a empty data frame. Yeah, I created an empty data frame. It has nothing.
Okay. So yes, what I was saying, I just forgot. Yes, you can create data frames in a variety of ways. The basic way you can create is making an array of arrays. Okay. So in the next example, as we can see, I will explain how we can create a basic data frame out of array of arrays.
Yes, so this is a array, and we'll make a data frame out of this array using a using this data frame function. So I'll run this code and show you. So what you can expect here that here I have given the data, that is the data that will be inside the table. Here we have everything that will be inside the table. It is in 2D format. So this represents, like, this array represents a single row. This array represents the another row. This represents the another record. And in the similar fashion, there are, I can say, one, two, three, 8 column, 8 rows, and the number of columns are 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is every okay,
So as you can see,
1, 2, 3.
when you're making normal table, you can also name the columns and indexes. Okay. So this is how you do it. First of all, you put the data of the table as it is, and then you name the columns by using the parameter name column, and then you put a equals and put the column names in an array,
In a list
in a
of
list.
column
Sorry.
names and a list of all the values. This is one method of making a data frame, but it is not limited here. There are
Yes.
many ways you can make a data frame. You can insert data. This was one method. That is one of the easiest methods to make a data frame. Another method is where you can import CSV files or Excel files. I will be coming to that later on, but right now keep let's explore this df1 data frame just that we have created just now.
The
So
function that, yes.
yes, you might be knowing this function head. What it does is it returns the initial rows. By default, if by default if you want to see, it will return 5 rows. First 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It returns first 5 rows. But you can enter any number here. If I want 7, so I will enter 7 here. So I will get first 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this way, you can print any or return any for any number of first rows, n number of first rows. And if you enter a negative number, the indexing will start from the behind, that is the bottom of the data frame. As you know, how indexing works in Python, it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in at, from the bottom it is like -1, -2. I'll show you. This is -1. This is -2. Just excuse me for my handwriting. Okay.
We are still learning how to type by using our this thing mouse.
Yes. Ah,
It's okay, Lemon. You don't have to put that much of effort. It's okay.
yes. So this is. I guess you have got a rough idea. So
Yes.
this is what it is, and if you enter a negative number, I hope it will return the data frame, the record from the bottom of the data frame. So just let's try those things too. -3. I guess it will return last 3 rows. Oh, it returned till the last 3 rows. It returned from the first till the last -3 third index. -1, -2, -3. It returned till 4. Yes, correct.
And
And
the thing about dot head, if you just write dot head, a blank dot head, so for our version it is 5, and it varies from the kind of version you are using, the Panda version you are using. So you should keep in mind and check the version, and the default value for head will change accordingly. So goes for the tail. Same goes for the tail.
correct. And then we have this function tail that will return the last three rows. See, this will return the last 3 rows. And if you put a negative value, all the this thing, like all the bottom rows till -3. That is -1, -2, -3. So that will be that. See all the bottom rows.
Now the thing is here, what is happening in case of head? Head defines the top thing. So when we write minus a negative number in the head, what it does it will remove the bottom part of it, and vice versa is for the tail. The tail starts from below. So the first position for the tail starts from 7. So when we use a negative number, it will deduct the upper for the for tail. The bottom starts at the top, so it will remove top 3 numbers and then will give you the remaining ones. And in head, it will remove the bottom 3 numbers and it will give you the remaining ones.
Correct.
Getting it? So the negative is different for tail and head, because if you tilt yourself upside down, for you the world is upside down. So for someone who is walking straight, the down is below, but who is upside down, for him the down is up.
That's pretty confusing, Soumya. Okay, I hope we have got this thing. If not, let us know and we can get back to those topics again. Then, like numpy arrays, we have this shape variable here also, and that it will give us the shape of the data frame. So here 8 represent the number of rows available and 4 represent the number of columns. So our data frame had 8 rows and 4 columns. So that is what we can see here. Then we
Then
have this
what?
iloc function. The main importance of iloc is when you want to access any row or any data within the data frame using integer locations. iloc stands for
Index.
integer locations. That is, the index, and you want to access the data. So you
So for
can
me, how I remember iLog functionality, you can just remember index location. Okay, that is how I remember the function of iLog. So you will be
also,
mentioning the indexes, and accordingly you will locate those things and will retrieve it.
also you can go through the documentation so that it helps you get know more about about the function. And this is how we learn. Like even I nowadays learn in the same fashion. If I find anything new, I just type it on Google and see. And it is the first line, primarily integer position based. But may so you're coming down, 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 down. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So here is see, you can see here is iloc and then passed the zero, so he got only the zeroth row. Here he passed,
Hmm.
and if you want a row, you'll have to pass it inside a list. That is what I have observed now. And if you want a column, then you'll have to pass it in a. You don't need not pass it in a list format. Coming back to our iloc function and the variations, different types of variations. So when you I'll erase all these things. I'll keep comment things out here. Check, let me check this thing now. Yeah. If I pass a single 6 in this, if I pass 6 in this iloc, so you can like it will return a row, the sixth row. Let's run this. Yes, see, it returned the sixth row, and the values are 85, 74, 1, and 28. Let's check, let's confirm those. Let's confirm. 6. Yes, 85, 85, 74, 1, and 28. That is what we got here. Now moving down to this thing. Here you'll get like you'll get a single integer that will be in the second row and the third column. What is the third column? What is the third column? 0, 1, 2, 3. That is TATI, TATI. So we'll get the value of that flower in the second row. Just let's try run this. It's 14. 0, 1, 2. And yeah, here we have 14. See the way I'm trying to access all those values. it will be very helpful when you try when you get look when you make different big models and you want to do exploratory data analysis. This helps a lot. This helps a lot. Like you get the data and then make some manipulation in the data and then store it again in the pandas data frame. Similarly, when you enter this thing, when you slice, this colon is used
Hmm.
for slicing. This is a slicing operator in Python. So 1 to 4 means it will return the rows from starting from 1, but 4 minus 1. That is first, second, and third row will be returned. So let's run this. Shift and enter to run the program. So yes, first, second, and third. That is what is got returned here. Now I want something more. I'm expecting something more. So what I'm expecting is the zeroth row, and I'm slicing the columns now. Only the first row, but I want to slice the columns now. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll run this. So before the comma, it is for rows. After the comma, it is for columns. This is what you can keep in mind. So 0 here indicates the zeroth row, and 1 column 4 indicates that columns are sliced. First, second, and third column will be written only, and not the third, fourth column. See,
And
the,
here we go.
you have got the values from the zeroth row. Index 0, index 1, index 2, and index 3 were returned. The zeroth index was omitted here. Similarly, now I want to slice both the rows and the columns. What I can do is I can use this 4 to 7. So fourth to 7 minus 1, that is the sixth row. Correct? Fourth, fifth, and sixth row will be written. In that,
Yep.
only first, second, and third column will be there. The column on the zeroth index won't be there. Let's run this. Shift enter, and here you go. 4, 5, 6 rows, first, second, third indexed columns. These are the values. So you'll need
So
to
this is
practice this
how
thing. You'll have to
like
play around
big
all
data.
this stuff.
Okay, Lemon. Let's see if we want to. Let's say just I want to take Lily and 30. Okay. I just want Lily and 30 row column, but I want all the rows. What can we do?
Okay, for that, I would use a log function, that not ilog. Instead of ilog, I would be using log function. That is where
Yeah.
in using that, like we can
Mention only
mention the
what we
names
need.
of the columns or the number of the rows. Okay, so all the what did he say? Only L I
Lily and
L Y comma C A T I. That is how what the syntax is, I guess. Just let's run and try this. Error. Okay. 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 There is no L I L Y. There is L I L Y. Mhm. Labels. Just check lock function.
now. First, you write column, sorry, rows, then comma,
Shall I need to
then
pass a
brackets,
list
then
or something like that?
yes, it's a list.
I
It's a
need to
list.
pass the list, correct? Mm-hmm. Yes,
Write the
correct.
names.
I guess this should work now. Just let's see.
You can directly write the names, na, Lemu.
Mm-hmm.
Just write the
Okay, okay,
names.
okay. Here I missed the colon. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I missed the colon here. So yes, what this colon indicates that all the rows and this list of the column names indicate that only column that has to be returned. So I can even take, for example, only the first five rows, and see here I have only the first five rows that way, and we can even replace this with any other class. Yeah. So yeah, this is what we're talking about. So I hope iLock and lock functions are clear. Lock functions will ask you to put in the column names or the row names. Even rows can have the individual names. So here we have
For
0 and
example,
1.
if I need a student data with just name and age, that's it. I don't want anything else. I just need a name and age. So what I will do, I will get student data and I will just put name and age. That's it.
Yes.
I don't have to
Using the
go through
index,
everything.
like I'll show you how to set an index. So what is an index? Here let's print our data. df1 dot head. So yes, what is the index? Index is this 0, 1, 2. Here, these are the index. But now, for say, like you want some different index, you want the values of these rows to be the index. Okay. Otherwise, yes, so yes, if you want the value of this rows rows column to be the index. So what will be the index? 1, 24, 85, 88, 7. This can be an index. So what you can do is df1 dot set index. See, you got this function here. You can check it. See what it says. Keys. Keys means the columns you need to set as index. Drop. Drop is if you want to drop the column and then just set it to index and you not show it. We don't want to do it here. And in place is by default false. So what is in place do? I'll tell you. If true, modify the data frame in place. Do not create a new object. Yes, we do not want to create a new object, correct? We would just want to change the parameter here itself. So what we'll do, we'll pass the keys, that is our rows column, uh, rows. We don't want to create an object, so in place is equal to true, and any other thing that is necessary now, I don't think so. Yes, yes, it has run, and just let's see the data set again. pf1 dot head. This one is yes. See, now there is this rows. This is the index 1, 24, 85, 88, 7. Now I will try printing these things using lock. So what was the value? Df1 dot lock return me the row that is having row index 24. So I'll pass 24. Okay. Then I want all the columns. No, I only want the lily column. Okay. And
And
then
30.
okay, okay.
No, no 30.
And that I'll print that too. VATI. Okay.
30 is very important.
Yeah. Ah. So yeah, you can see here 24th index, that is this row, 24th index is this row. Then we are displaying on these two columns 25 for Lily and 6 for Teddy. So these are the values that I displayed here. So that is how you can set index. And to remove an index, you have to just df1, that is the data frame name dot reset index. In reset index here we have that. Just let's run this. Okay, so now again we have those indexing this two 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the by default indexing provided by the pandas, right? Let's move on. Here I created another data frames ABC and XYZ. I'll show you these two data frames df2 comma df3. Let's run this. Okay, so this is the first data frame df2. It has columns A, B, C, and then we have another data frame that is df3. It has columns XYZ and it has these values, and df2 has these values. Okay. Now we can merge them. How to merge them? We can do it on the basis of indexes 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So on that basis, we can merge this thing using this function called pandas.merge,
So if people
pd.merge.
remember, we used to do this for Excel sheets.
Even in
We
MySQL, you
used
have
to,
this feature like to merge columns using
yeah, no,
joins.
I was talking about those people who are into accounting and all sorts of
Yes,
things.
yes, yes.
So you had to do so much thing to, like, you do like choose a column from this sheet and all that stuff. You don't have to do this here. Just save a Excel sheet on DF2, the second on DF3, and do this thing. Very simple.
Like, I'll run this and show you. So this is what happened. Like right on. So B right on B. Okay. So what is this or all this right on left on? These are what are these attributes for somewhere?
Whose attribute?
Right on and left on. What does this do? If you're in doubt, first thing you can do is code. Even if then you don't get it, just see this documentation. Hover over the function name. You'll get this documentation in Google Colab. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Right index, order surface, indicator. Um, I see here we have right on column or index level names to join in the right data frame. Can also be a list of arrays of the length of the right data frame. So this B was added to the right of the data frame. and y was added to the left. So yes, that is, even if we don't pass this, we get the same result, right? Okay, okay, okay. These are two. I just made a comma. So this was the merge function. So now moving on to series. What is first understand what is a data frame? Data frame had rows and multiple columns. Correct. Now coming to series, what series has is it has a single row. It is a single column. Sorry, it's a single column. It is not a row. It might have many multiple rows, but it has a single column. You can name the column too, I guess. So your 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 was put in this format, and created a single column of this all these values. And see the data type here, it's in 64. And if you want, you can just change it to D type, and you can choose any D type you want. I want, for example, I can say I want it to into a float 32. And see, all this came into float 32. Okay, now moving forward, you can also change the indexing as I said. You can also add indexes to a series. And took one thing that you should keep in mind, that is like if you're passing a list of indexes, so this index, the length of this index list should be equal to all the numbers in the series. That is the length of the series should be equal to this length of this index list. So like A, B, C, D, E, that is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, that is 5. That are 5 numbers, and these are 5 indexes. And upon running this thing, we got this. Okay. Also, you can create a series using dictionary having those indexes. So I just pass the dictionary. I can create any dictionary here and just pass it. For example, I created dictionary D is equal to. You might be having an idea how a dictionary is created. It has keys. It has values. One A is equal to 1. C is 3. And there we have D is 4. Right. Upon then I'll pass this dictionary D to create a series S2. Let's print this. A1, C3, and D4. This is what we had passed through in a dictionary, and this is what was converted to a list. So all the keys are the indexes, and all the values are the values in the series. You can also change the indexing. You can, like, if you pass a dictionary, here you can also pass a list of indexes, and those will be applied. Here A, B, C, B, C, D, A were passed as the indexes. The indexes explicitly, we passed these indexes explicitly, and we didn't have any value for D. As you can see, this list didn't contain any value for D, so it was allocated a null value, right? And also you can add in the similar fashion as we did in numpy arrays. So in the same way, you can also add values. So S1 plus 5. So S1, where is the S1? See the S1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 5 got added to all the values in the series. So this is how you add values. Later on, you can also use the describe function. This is one of the most important functions, I can say. Using this function in exploratory data analysis gives you a very good insight of the data. Yes. So from this describe function, you can get the count, that is the number of distinct values, and then we can also have mean of those values. And then we have the standard deviation, the minimum, the first 25% is 50%, the 75%, the maximum value. It's everything. It's everything. We have everything. You get everything required in this describe function. Now we are creating a data frame. Like why is this data frame created here? And there is no need of this data frame. So guys, this is what we had for today in Pandas basics. And later we will be having one more video where we'll be covering more parts, some more important and important functions of Pandas that will be helpful for your machine learning journey. So that's all for today. Bye bye. Let us know if you have any doubts and we can get back to you with the solutions soon. Bye.